toxicology report came out yesterday, and he had that good old Diddy drug up in him, that Tucci, that pink booger sugar. So the minute I heard that, when they said pink cocaine, I was like, yeah, isn't that the same stuff Diddy was caught with when he got arrested? So this drug is definitely making the rounds. I remember, like, I saw a report on one of the local news channels in New York, and it said like that pink cocaine is taking over the club scene in New York. Me, I don't. I'm not with all the stuff that they got up in there, and the way these days that they don't test drugs, and they putting all kinds of stuff in drugs. And I'm glad that they've created these drug testing kits. A friend of mine gave me one at Queen's Pride. He had one on him, and he was like, he gave me a drug testing kit because it's like you can't trust nothing these people putting things. They put all kinds of fentanyl and in your booger sugar and your weed and everything. I feel like the only thing you can drink. I was gonna say the only thing you can drink these days is alcohol, but based off of the Diddy stuff, no, you can't because they lacing your drinks too with GHB and all kinds of mess. So anyway, let's get into the Liam Payne stuff because the latest on him as I pull this photo up. They said that he had multiple substances in his system when he died in Argentina, including a mix of drugs known as pink booger sugar, according to the initial results from his autopsy. Now, in a fresh update yesterday, it says today, but it was yesterday, it says preliminary results from toxicology tests of Mr. Payne's remains have found traces of cocaine, benzodiazepine, crack cocaine, and pink cocaine, which is a combination of methamphetamine, ketamine, and MDMA. So they had like the ecstasy, the ketamine, the meth is up in there, all kinds of stuff. And that's why I was telling you, like, I remember like people saying the description of the drug is like, it literally feels like when you're high, like your body is being pulled in two different directions because it's like I believe it's an upper and a downer. And then on top of that, you're mixing it with alcohol, which I've heard that a lot of people do when they're in the club. So it's not only that they drinking, but they're also on top of that putting the pink booger sugar in their damn system, which is why they said at one point, you know, he went down into the lobby and he was convulsing. And I'm like, wait a minute. Now, if he's convulsing, which I believe is a minor seizure, when you close your eyes and you having like a little seizure, because drugs will do that to you. If you do enough enough of that white powder, or as Ike Turner called it in What's Love Got to Do with It, that narcotic. If you do enough of that, then what happens is that you can have like little minor seizures and stuff. So they say he was convulsing. Now, if anybody up in there doing a little twitching or whatever, wouldn't you call the ambulance? Like, that don't make no sense to me. Like, to me, it's like if I'm seeing somebody who is under the influence of drugs and you close your eyes at 1 minute and you have for a second and you convulsing on a chair or whatever, because you may have passed out or whatever the case is, my first thing would have been to call the ambulance. I'm not just gonna be like, okay, you're embarrassing yourself and the people are looking, so we need to get this person out of the public eye so that way they're not exposed and we don't look embarrassed. So they said that while tests of the substances, white powder, traces of chemical crystals, and prescription medicines found at his suite at the boutique hotel continue, results from a post-mortem of his body have been completed. It determined that the singer died instantly from multiple injuries after falling 45 feet from a third floor. Now, in a fresh update, preliminary results from toxicology tests of Mr. Payne remains have found traces of cocaine, benzodiazepine. We already talked about all of that. It said while tests on the substances, it said that, okay, so I just realized that it posted, for some reason, that article posted the same thing twice. So it said an improvised aluminum pipe commonly used to smoke crack cocaine was also found in his hotel room. Well, I don't know if it was like a pipe. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to pipes, people ain't doing crack. You know, according to Whitney Houston, crack is cheap. So he could have been doing meth. You know, a lot of the Methodists like to use a pipe. That's why they always say sucking on a glass dick. That's another one of the terminologies. So when it comes down to it, it's like, yeah, when you're doing meth, a lot of people will use a crack pipe to smoke it. So it says that Argentine news website Infobay reported a forensic study carried out in Liam's body determined the presence of Booger sugar. A test carried out by now a second test is to follow to determine the nature of the drug. Now, report by news network ABC added a partial autopsy found that the former One Direction singer, who died at 31, had multiple substances in his system when he fell to his death from the third floor balcony of his hotel room in Buenos Aires on October 16th. Those substances include pink cocaine, a recreational drug that typically is a mix of several drugs, including methamphetamine, ketamine, MDMA, and others, as well as cocaine, benzodiazepine, and crack. So, another thing, because I do have a photo that I want to show y'all of the balcony, because I was wondering, I was like, where in the hotel was he actually staying? Well, they pointed it out. If you see the red circle, this is literally where his hotel room was, right here. So he fell from here all the way down here. And I believe there is a photo. Oh, wait, no, that's not the photo. That's the drugs. But I believe there's another photo that I saw. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Of, so basically, it's this one. So yeah, you can see from there. But then here's another thing that I discovered before I get to this photo. That in Argentina, and I didn't know this, they actually consider the floor that he was on, and I learned this from Perez Hilton. The floor that he was on is technically the fourth floor. It wasn't the third floor. They consider the first floor is floor 0. I didn't know that that's how they go by things in other countries, but that's known as floor 0. And he was technically on the fourth floor. But if you look at based off of the way that the camera is shot, they probably use a drone or something or another to get that shot. I'm sitting there like, that looks pretty high up. That looks pretty high up in regards of where he fell. And I would have definitely freaked out from that. Based off of what he felt. I mean, from falling out from there. Okay, so here's a photo that I saw. And I wish I could blow this up. But if you look at the bottom photo down here, this table area that he fell from the balcony, they said that is where he, where you see the big square, is exactly like where he fell on top of. Like that's where his body was discovered. So I just want to get off of that because I was like, we're not gonna go and show the drugation situation. So I was like, yeah, let's move on to this photo. So yeah, so that was basically the update that I wanted to give y'all in regards of what they said that was found in his system.